Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Hi, Amber. We are doing another member-only chat today. So you can hit the join button below this video or find the link in the description box to become a member of the channel. And you get a prayer or inner work embodiment practice every Friday in the community tab and also these member-only chats. So today we're talking about how to be unbothered. And how many times have you watched videos like this? I've done at least 3 videos on this topic. They're linked below. And you hear this list and you're like, okay, I get it. But then you can't do it, right? Because it's just information. That's why I try not to give you guys just lists, but the inner work that goes with actually embodying that thing. Because all the lists in the world aren't going to get you embodied. It's just useless information in one ear, out the other ear, unless you know the inner work that you need to do to embody that thing, right? To actually be able to do it. Because knowing is one thing, just information, but like if you go to a party or you're with your partner and then you get triggered, can you sustain it? Can you actually practice the thing? Welcome, everyone. Hi, Sapphire. We've got a new member today. Hello, lady. Hi, Heather. Welcome, everyone. So the 3 flavors that I want to discuss with you today of how to be unbothered is the flavor of not explaining, not complaining, and definitely not convincing. So us as women collectively, we have been programmed and trained, many of us, to have to explain ourselves. Oh, I'm just explaining myself. No need. So this became a natural byproduct of the inner work that I started doing. It's not that I was like, oh, I'm going to stop explaining. As I was doing my inner work, I realized one day that, oh my God, I had absolutely no need to explain anything anymore. So it became kind of a natural process of my inner work. Because you can say all you want that I'm not going to explain and then be explaining, right? I see this in women all the time in my coaching practice, in my programs. People will come and even if they want to just ask a simple question, they need to explain everything just to ask a simple question. And I'll oftentimes just say, hey, just you don't have to explain, just ask me the question. Just ask me the question. So this is really a big embodiment that happens naturally. Another thing I noticed was that if someone was demanding an explanation, I still had no need to explain. I could hold space for what they were feeling and still have no need to explain. Because just because someone else is having an emotional reaction to something doesn't mean that I have to co-sign with them. I can hold that space and still not have to explain myself. I definitely stopped complaining as well as part of my inner work because complaint counter, I've talked to you guys about there's a complaint counter, there's a desire counter, and there's a waiting period in the middle. Most people spend their time, basic babes for sure, at the complaint counter. Self-aware Barbies will go from the complaint counter into the waiting period, and that's where they hang out. $1 million babes and above know that the only place you should be hanging out ever is at the desire counter. Because if you're voicing your desires, you have no reason to complain. Complaining is not going to get you any closer to what you desire anyway, so what's the point? What's the point? It's such a useless activity. It's literally like taking your life force currency dollars and throwing it away. You're just wasting it because you're not buying anything. Nothing's coming to you. You're not getting anything. You're surely not manifesting anything. I keep flickering between the two. Between which two, Christian? The waiting room, the desire counter, or the complaint counter? Curious to hear which one you're hanging out at. Complaining and desire. Well, what would it take for you to stay at the desire counter? So the energy of convincing is the energy of everyone else has to come with me, or they have to co-sign with me, or they are the reason that I can't get my desire. So that is not the energy of unbothered. Unbothered means that you are in your own embodiment, in your own body, having your own experience, speaking in desires to God, and getting whatever you please to come and manifest into your life. When people try to just embody the state of unbothered, it can come from very much of like this kind of an energy, right? Like you're going to try to be unbothered, you're going to act unbothered, which is great. Okay, you can do that. But if you're fuming at the mouth and have resentment going on in your body, how is that getting you any closer to what you're manifesting? What do you desire? Are you getting it? No. If in fact, it's probably lowering your vibration even more because you're not taking the time to actually work through what is stuck inside of you. So don't pretend. Actually work through the stuff. And the three natural processes that will happen is that you will stop complaining, you will definitely stop explaining, and there's no one to convince. We convince when we're not convinced. We convince when we want to control other people. We're convinced when we need everyone to co-sign with me, right? And then I get to have my desire. Oh, I can't have it because this person won't agree. What does that person have to do between the tab that you have open with the universe? Nothing. When I made this post, don't convince, or no, I made the post a few days ago under the community tab that no one has to co-sign with your desires. And someone wrote this whole thing about it's good to have help and we shouldn't be so lonely. Co-signing has nothing to do with help. You can have all the help you want, but at the end of the day, it's between you and God what you're manifesting. So stop disguising loneliness and help as if this person hangs upside down and gives me all that I want, then I get to have it. What if they don't want to? Then what? Then you get to be miserable? You get to suffer? No. Stop doing that. That's hanging out in the waiting room, asking questions that are completely useless to your manifestation. People ask all kinds of questions. And my response is, what do you desire? Just go and file it there. No, but first I must know this and this and this. Sure, but go and file the desire and get it anyways. Yes, but I can only go file the desire if I can get this question answered. Why? Why? Go and get it. Right? Like when I make my content on attracting and marrying a provider. But what if I'm a single mom? Go and file the desire. But what if I don't want kids? Go and file the desire. But what if I have blue heads and purple nails? Go and file the desire. Stop hanging out in the waiting period because at the end of the day, who cares? The reason that I don't ask any questions is because I just go ask for it anyways. If a thought comes up, well, what if I can't have it for da-da-da-da? I say, okay, I'll come back to the waiting period and answer that after I've already gone and filed the desire. And then guess what? The thing shows up anyways. I'm like, oh, I guess I could have it. Just because I decided that I could. No one needs to answer my questions before I go to the desire counter and get the thing anyways. Could you imagine if I was sitting around asking a million questions before I applied to Northwestern, or before I manifested my provider husband, or before I started my YouTube channel, or before I changed my diet? I would be sitting around in no man's land asking questions. But what did I do? I went and filed the desire anyways. I said, this is what I want. So why not just go and do it? You don't need your questions answered. You don't need explanations. You don't have to complain. And you definitely don't need to convince anyone else to come with you. I promise. They may choose to if they're resonating with you and they like where you're headed and they're like, ooh, I like what she's got. Let's come with her. But they may choose not to, and that's okay too, because you still get to have what you desire. No one has to co-sign with you. Since I have worked on being less bothered, so many blessings have fell at my feet. Yes, girl, because you're no longer running that nasty vibration of everyone has to come with you. You're no longer vibrating at the resonance of victimhood. everyone's doing stuff to you. That's me. What I show on the outside isn't how I'm feeling on the inside. Make it match up. Get that true vibrational resonance. Like have it all be one cohesive thing. And that's the inner work. Really, if you're talking about inner work, that's it. That's why I don't pretend I actually do the inner work. Because I don't want to fake it. I want to faith it. Like I want to do the work and I want to become that.